Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video. Today we're going to be continuing with Unit 5, and we're going to be solving proportions. We've done this before. Previously, when we've done this, there's always been a relationship going across. Like I could get from the 4 to the 7, or I could get from the 8 to the 14, or from the 5 to the 7 over here. But in these cases today, we're not always going to have that relationship. So we have to learn a method called cross multiplying and dividing. So that's what I'm going to teach you today. For my virtual learners, you do have a copy of this that you could print. Even though it's not very much writing at all, you could just write this on a piece of paper. But it is available on Canvas, but it is going to be a full sheet. Like this is just a half sheet that I have here, but yours is going to be a full sheet, and it's going to have the same problems twice because I cut the paper in half, but it is there if you would like to print it. So let's get started. So if you remember with proportions, or a proportion is two ratios that are set equal to each other. This fraction on the left is equivalent to this fraction on the right. And we know that is because if we cross multiply, if we were to multiply 4 times 21, whatever we get would be the same thing as whatever x times 7 is. They have to be equivalent in order for them to be a proportion, which is what they are. So, and when we can't find a relationship going across, method we can use is what's known as cross multiply and divide, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply the two that are crisscross. If y'all remember from elementary, y'all probably learned butterfly method for comparing fractions. So we're going to butterfly one part of this fraction with the numbers that we can actually butterfly or multiply. Here we can multiply 4 and 21, but we cannot multiply 7 times x because we don't know what x is. X is what's known as a variable. It represents an unknown value that we're solving for. So I'm going to circle these two, and I'm going to multiply them together. So 21 times 4. 21 times 4, I get 4 and then 8. So 21 times 4 gets me 84. And that is equal, because we cross multiply, that's equal to whatever 7x is. 7 times x. Now to get the value of x, we're going to do the opposite of multiply, which is divide. So we're going to divide by 7. Those cancel because it's equal to 1, leaving us with x equals 84 divided by 7, which y'all should know, but if you don't, remember, I always encourage y'all to use your chart. I actually have put one on the Canvas page at the bottom of the agenda, so you have one that you can refer to easily. So when we're doing 84 divided by 7, we go to the 7 column and we're looking for 84 without going over. So here's my 7. Looking for 84 without going over, which is way at the bottom, exactly 84. So to get my answer, I move over to the left and I get 12. That's a basic fact y'all should know, but chart's there to help you if you don't. So 84 divided by 7 is 12. So x is equal to 12. Now we could check our work. We knew that 21 times 4 got us 84. All I would have to do to check is plug in a 12 right here and multiply 12 times 7 and make sure I get 84 as an answer. 12 times 7 does in fact get me 84, so I know my answer is correct. So cross multiply and then we're going to divide. All right, the next one, we have 8 over 2 is equal to 14 over b. b is my variable here. A variable can be any number, any letter in the alphabet. Typically it's x, that's the most common one, but you can see any letter. So we're solving for b here. This time I can't multiply the same way I did on the first one. I can't multiply 8 times b because I don't know what b is, but I can multiply 2 times 14. So I'm going to do that first. 14 times 2 gets me 28. So now I have 28 is equal to whatever 8 times b is. So all I have to do next is divide. And I'm not saying you have to do this step. I'm just showing you what we're actually doing. We're doing the opposite of multiply, which is divide. So b is equal to 28 divided by 8. So that one, if I go to my 8 column, I'm not going to find 28 exactly. It's going to be a little bit too big or a little bit too small. So we actually have to do this division out. So I'm going to do 28 divide by 8 and do the division like normal. So I'm going to go to my 8 column. I'm looking for 28 without going over. So here's 8. 32 is too big, so 24, which is 3 times. goes above the 8 because it goes into 28. 24, subtract, we get 4. Now we have a remainder, so I'm going to put a decimal and a 0, bring the decimal up and the 0 down. And then 8 goes into 40 5 times because we go here, we're looking for 40, and we see that it's 5. So 5 times, which is 40, subtract, we get a remainder of 0. So B is actually equal to 3.5. B is equal to 3.5. Uh-oh, my light's turned off. So again, we could check our work and prove it. I know that 14 times 2 got me 28. So all I would have to do here to check it is multiply 8 times B, or 8 times 3.5. Remember, you don't have to line up decimals when you multiply. So 8 times 5 is 40, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And then move my decimal one time because I only have one number past the decimal. And I get 28, or 28.0, which is the same thing as 28. So because these cross products are equal, I proved that my answer of 3.5 is correct. All right, and then the last one, we have 4 over 5 is equal to R over 7. So we're going to cross multiply these two. Sorry, you kind of can't see the 4 anymore. So we're going to cross multiply those. 7 times 4 gets me 28. And then we're going to divide by 5. I've one of my old aides, my first year teaching, or actually my 4th year teaching, he told me that his students used to say multiply and then divide by the lonely guy. So if that helps you remember, you cross multiply and the guy by himself, that's the one you divide by. All right, so we cross multiply. 7 times 8, we got, 7 times 4, we got 28, and we're dividing by 5. So use your chart if you need to, but 25 is one that you should be able to skip count by, or you should know. I know it can't go into 2. 5 goes into 28 5 times, which is 25. Subtract, we get 3. Again, we get a remainder, so we're going to put a decimal and a 0. Bring the decimal up and the 0 down. And then 5 goes into 30 6 times with a remainder of 0. So R equals, my variable was R equals 5.6. All right, again, we could check our answer if we wanted to. I know that 7 times 4 is 28. So, oh, this is the same number we had over here. So now I need to multiply 5 times R to see if I get 28. So 5.6 times, so R was 5.6 times 5. I get 30. 25 plus 3 makes 28. And then move the decimal one time, and I do get 28. So I know that my answer is correct. So solving proportions is a little different. Of course, your first goal is to always look for that relationship going across. If you have it, fantastic. If not, your next step would be to cross multiply and then divide. Remember to use your handy dandy little multiplication chart to help you. If you struggle with multiplication and division, there's nothing wrong with using it. Please use the one that we have on Canvas if you are a remote learner, so you have one you can refer to. But that's pretty much it, guys. Cross multiply and divide. Divide by the lonely guy, however you want to remember it. If y'all have any questions or concerns about anything, just not quite sure anything, please don't hesitate to ask. You know I'm available on Zoom. Make sure you subscribe to my page if you haven't done so already. And you also get a free 100 for just doing that. But you have to show me that you did it in order to get that 100. So subscribe, press that like button, please. Share, share the love, as my kid would say. He's a Stephen Sheriff fan. Anyway, I'm rambling. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.